Right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's UK Weekly Team Call. My name's Dan. I hold the recognition rank, myself and my wife, of 2-star exec. I was introduced to Isogenics about 3 years ago by a very good friend of mine named Clayton. At the time, I was pretty adverse to taking anything that wasn't, snapped off a tree, and I would have considered myself a fair clean eater. So automatically I threw up the hands and said no thanks. I was a massive skeptic, and my wife had a go. She jumped on Isogenics and had a really awesome transformation. She lost a few kilos in the first 30 days, and she said that her sleep really improved. And her mood really improved, and I can put my hand up and say that's definitely true. So I decided then that I would I'd take my hat in my hand and take off my skeptic hat and give it a go. And within 30 days, I just really felt that my health had improved, my sleep had improved, my mood had improved, and my energy, because I was working just a massive week running a business, family life. I felt that it had really transformed my health. So, now I share these products because I can see that Isogenics is a company that isn't just a weight loss company. It's really a wellness company, and I think that everybody in the world deserves a little bit more wellness. So that's why I now passionately share these products and, get on these calls and connect people with the company, because I just think it's so fantastic. Before we go any further, we're going to, today, I'll be just doing a little bit of Q&A with Bruce and PJ. I was lucky enough to work with Bruce and PJ over the last, let's say, 5 months. And what they really did was they transformed my wife and I's business. We really just strapped ourselves in, and the boys mentored us, and it was like a rocket ship. It was very, very simple systems that they got us to follow, and it just made our growth in the business and sharing with people just so much easier. Bruce and PJ have been sharing these products for over 2 years. They've helped coach hundreds of people, including myself. They've had amazing transformations. They've mentored many people to create an additional income, and I think that's what everyone kind of starts getting in to the business side for, just for that additional income. They've both put themselves in a position to retire from the 9 to 5 only after 12 months, and they're now earning 6 figures, which is completely fantastic. They travel the world and present, and they just really love to give back and share their wisdom with the product side, the business side, and the opportunity side of Isogenics. So I'll just be doing a little kind of to and fro question and answer. And I think I'll start with PJ, because I know you love to talk. I know you love to get it off the bat nice and cleanly to start with.
Just manage that, Dan, because we can't make him shut up when he starts. You know that.
Yeah, I'll put a timer on.
I'm passionate. What can I say?
Totally, you are. Hey, could you just quickly share with us your story, how you got started, and what the products have done for your health, your finances, and just your life overall, please?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for the very kind introduction as well. So as Dan said, I started roughly about nearly 2.5 years ago now. I had sort of got to the point in my life where I was working 11, 12 hours a day. I really wasn't liking my job. So slowly but surely that started to impact my health. I was stressed about my job. But then also as well, like when I came home, I just didn't really care about, exercising or eating the right foods. And in a period of about 6 months, I really put on a lot of excess weight that I didn't need. And I remember it just kind of dawned on me. I was like, wow, I've really let myself go. And it happened quite quickly. And I was just like, I've got to do something about this. I I can't be like this anymore. It's really not healthy. I don't feel great. I'm not confident anymore. I didn't even, to the point where I didn't even want to socialize anymore because I was unhappy with how I was looking. That's when I knew that I needed a turning point. And I'd been in the fitness industry for quite some time. So I'd seen lots of different products and programs and stuff like that. So when I first saw Isogenics, I was very skeptical. I thought that you could, just do things by clean eating and exercise. And I tried that, for a number of months to get back into shape, but I just couldn't shift the weight. I didn't have the energy and I wasn't sleeping right as well. And it was when I was personally introduced to Isogenics by a good friend, Bruce Donacci. And he just had this incredible transformation in 30 days and beyond. And I was blown away. He'd lost about 11, 12 kilos. He looked amazing. And I was just like, whatever you're doing, I'm going to give this a go because it's worth trying if you can get those sort of results. So I jumped on the program. I shifted about 9.5 kilos, which is roughly about 20 pounds. I think, 2.2 pounds per kilo. Yeah, so if that's the correct maths. So I lost about 20 pounds in my first 30 days on the program. And when I first started this, I really thought that it was purely about weight loss. But it was all the other benefits that I got from the program that absolutely blew my mind. It was the energy that I got back because I was really needing 4 or 5 coffees a day just to survive. And then after a week, I didn't need that anymore because of the natural energy I was getting. My sleep was improving, so I wasn't waking up during the night. I was waking up refreshed. And then the big penny drop moment for me was that I was actually putting on lean muscle and increasing my strength as I went on. That is something I really didn't expect because I thought it was about, depleting the calories and all that sort of stuff. And so that's when I knew that this program was special. I went to events. I started learning more about it. I started sharing it with more people and seeing the results that they were getting. And that really solidified it for me. And I've been sharing these products ever since for the last 2.5 years. And I was doing that just in the pockets of my time after my, 11 hours at work, creating an additional income by doing so. And then over about 14 months, I was able to leave my 9-to-5 job because the residual income that I created through Isogenics was more than my day job income. So now I just do this full time. I get to travel all the time and just create an incredible lifestyle, not only for myself, but help to mentor other people to do the same thing.
Awesome. Can you just clarify, did you say 20 pounds?
Correct. Yeah. So it's like roughly 10 kilos. So that's about 20 pounds, I think.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool how it can, I think a lot of people kind of get in for the weight loss side because it's obviously a big problem in our society, but then after that they feel the energy and it just expands out from there. And I think that's something that's just so fantastic. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sharing, PJ.
No worries.
Brooke, next question's for you. Can you just quickly tell us about your results and then let us know why you continue to use the products today and how you use them in your everyday life? That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dan. My story is very similar to Pete as well. I was in the UK before I was introduced to Isogenics. And as us Aussies say, when we get over to the UK, you get the old Heathrow injection. I definitely had 3 or 4 stabs of the Heathrow injection, that's for sure. When I was talking about this last week on a call, when I actually took a job up in Brisbane when I decided to come back to Australia, and Pete picked me up from the airport, and he looked at me and he just like, well, you've enjoyed yourself in the UK. And he's like, I don't recognise you, mate. And I'm like, so he sort of hit me in the gut straight away. I definitely put on a fair few kilos. I was almost on the 100 kg mark. And for me, that did mean something because I would always been involved in sport and I was always quite healthy. I was in a fitness company in the UK, believe it or not. I was in the industry, so I definitely let myself go. And very similar to PJ, we had a close friend who'd done some amazing things with this program, and we'd been watching his journey and saw the results over a period of time and went, wow, all right, cool. There's definitely something in it. And so yeah, when I got started, I took it quite serious, and I really gave it a good crack for that first 30-day period. And very similar to PJ, I lost 7 kilos, so probably about 16 pounds, more or less. Had some really good results, but the big thing for me wasn't just the weight loss. Like, I knew I had to lose some weight, and I did, which was fantastic. But the big things for me were actually the energy levels that I was receiving from it. I was sleeping a lot better. I was one of those people who'd wake up several times throughout the evening, and then also trying to get up for work in the morning was always a pain in the butt. I would literally set my alarm about half an hour earlier so I could press snooze 4 or 5 times before I had to get up. That was me every single morning. And as soon as I did get up, I was smashing the coffee to get me through the first 3 or 4 hours before the brain would actually start working. So for me, the biggest, I guess, advantage of taking the program was getting up in the morning and actually feeling alert and ready to rock and roll, and sleeping through each evening. Alongside that was just energy. Like, I had a huge amount of energy from the using the product. So once I got through the 30 days, I didn't stop. I just went straight onto what's called a maintenance program after that, and it's been 2.5 years, and I've continued to use majority of the products, just more for the reason it's maintained my results from that first period, but also maintaining the energy levels and being able to wake up in the morning without having to press that alarm clock, which has been, I keep saying it's one of the best things ever. So yeah, that's for me, Dan, has been the best thing ever.
Awesome. So it sounds like you just found something that worked within the lifestyle that you wanted, that you were looking for.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing about it, is being able to incorporate it into your lifestyle. It's not a diet as such. It's just simply adding to your lifestyle. So when I'm, come from a family background in the Barossa Valley, we love our wine, we love our food. Being able to incorporate this is just perfect because with everything you do, it just keeps you maintained, which has been so rewarding.
Awesome. It's like a healthy regulator. I like that. Hey, also everyone, there's a little chat going on the side. So if you go down to the bottom bar and you want to ask a question or put a comment in about anything that is going on in the convo, just hit the chat thing and just throw it in there. And we can do Q&A at the end if we've got any extra time. Next question is for PJ. And I think this is something that's really, really important. If we're kind of taking a look at the opportunity, I think it's important to find out how the products work, and also what are the different solutions that Isagenix has to offer. So what are the different systems that are going to work and fit within people's lives? Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, for sure. And as well, like if you want to put in the comments, just like isagenixhealth.net and isoproduct.au, like the products that are going to be launched in the UK is going to be slightly different to what we have here in Australia. But these 2 links are the best 2 links to really understand all about the science behind the products, what products are available, what they do, everything that you really need to understand about it. So go and check that out in your spare time. But yeah, just to give you guys a quick sort of overview of how the products and the systems work, the way that I like to explain it is that these systems have been created really to fill the gaps of what we're missing out on nutritionally in everyday healthy food. So, if you look at the last 40 or 50 years, over that time period, the amount of nutrients and minerals and things like that in food has slowly depleted or deteriorated. So we're just not quite getting enough of high quality nutrients, minerals, vitamins, high quality protein, all that sort of stuff for our body to function at its best. Even if you're trying to eat really, really healthy. And I can promise you, like probably most of the people that we work with, They're people that are doing everything by the book, you know, eating healthy food, exercising, but they're not having the energy, or they're not getting the sleep that they want, or they're not getting the results that they want. And that's one of the big reasons, is that we're not getting enough nutrients in our everyday healthy food. So that's one part of what this system does, is it really fills those gaps. It gives you all the extra nutrients and minerals and the highest quality protein in the world, and so many different sources of nutrition, so that your body can function optimally. And that's really what this is about. It's about getting your body to function at its best, because your body is the miracle. And when it is at its best, that's when the results happen. That's when the changes happen. And then the other part of what this system does is it addresses toxicity. So toxicity is something that we really can't avoid, no matter who you are or what you do, because it's in the air that we breathe, and it's in the food we eat, and it's in the things that we touch on a daily basis. So we're just constantly being bombarded with these toxins, and the toxins are really one of the main contributing factors to things like lack of energy, poor sleep, poor health, putting on excess body fat. Your body actually stores toxins in its fat cells. The other way around. It stores fat to protect itself from those toxins. So if we're not cleansing, you know, we're really not getting our body into that optimal state. And cleansing is based on intermittent fasting. So you guys would have probably heard of that before. It's where you have 1 or 2 days of fasting, and that's really where your body starts to work its magic. You know, so when you start fasting, that's when it starts, like, the healing process. It starts to naturally cleanse itself. It gets rid of the toxins. It gets rid of the excess body fat. And the cool thing about this program is that intermittent fasting is nutritionally supported by these incredible minerals and vitamins and all these different things that are going to support that process. So it really is like a wellness system that you incorporate into a healthy eating lifestyle, as well as exercise. And that's how you're going to get the best results and, you know, have that long-term health.
Awesome. That was a really, really great explanation. I think toxicity is something that's is starting to, you know, people are starting to really switch onto it, and to realize that toxicity is, you know, the more toxic the more toxins you're taking in, obviously, the more your health is going to deteriorate in many different areas. And, you know, I think Isogenics has just found the best ingredients to formulate the best products to reverse that process. And, you know, that's why Isogenics is just blowing up at the moment. It's, you know, it's the secret to their success. I firmly believe that. That and the people, of course. Next question is for Bruce. Bruce, what are your favorite products? And there's, you know what, Isogenics has so many, and they're always bringing out new products. But what are your favorite products?
Dan, where to start, mate? Definitely shots, especially this time of the morning. Mate, there's all the product. The good thing about Isogenics, there you go. PJ's already had 4 under the belt this morning, I can tell. But mate, the cool thing about Isogenics and the products themselves is they really all work synergistically. So in terms of the program, the 30-day system, every product has a purpose in the body. So, I mean, standalone, absolutely, they do a lot of good, but together they are unbeatable. Every product is there for a reason. They're all about making sure your body can absorb the nutrition. There's no point having a huge amount of nutrition if your body's not absorbing it, right? So every product that is there for that reason. However, I'm pretty passionate about all the products. I use all of them every single day. If I had to choose one, it'd be the smoothies themselves. And I saw the question, how's the product taken there? And one of the core products is the smoothies themselves. They are, I guess you can classify as a superfood. What is in one smoothie is unbelievable. It's equivalent of about 7,000 or 6,500 calories of organic food. So you can go out to the garden, pick the best of the best, all your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. And if you had 7.5 bowls of the best, this is what you're receiving from one smoothie. So the delivery of this is in such a small portion in such a vast amount of nutritional value. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, for me, I was over in the UK and Asia. I did a trip. It was a fundraiser for a couple of different charities, and it was 4.5 to 5 months long. I went to extreme measures to make sure I was taking at least the smoothies across with me. I had 3.5 months supply. It was an extra bag across from Australia to the UK. And that was it's incredible because you just know for a fact that you're getting the right nutrition into the body, which is key, especially when you're in the middle of Kazakhstan and living off God knows what. I think it might have been horse for a little bit there. You just don't know what you're getting. So it was just awesome to know the fact that I was getting the right nutrition. So, mate, in terms of my favorite product, without a doubt, is the smoothies, and I'll have one every single morning just for the knowledge. Obviously, it maintains the results that I received in the first month of ever doing this, but just to make sure I'm getting the right nutritional levels in the body. There's a lot of other key components. The full list hasn't been received in the UK of what's coming out there. They will be doing their best to get everything over there in due course. But the core products that are coming out in terms of toxicity and removal of that is going to be incredible. But the number one, and without a doubt in my head, the smoothie himself is unbelievable. And that's what's going to be launched in the UK. So very exciting times ahead. And PJ not only is hammering the e-shots out, he's already his first smoothie for the day. Love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. I think the smoothies are, I think that, you know, the different flavors, the different enhancements. They've got a dairy-free shake. They're coming out with the dairy-free bar soon. Look, for me, I think that the smoothies are the backbone of the system. Low calories, high nutrition. People have been counting calories for far too long. It's time to start counting the nutritional content in what we're taking in. And yeah, the smoothies are just, they're changing. They're a game changer for health. That's the way I see it. And, you know, I think other companies trying to do the same thing are going to be playing catch up for a very, very long time, just because of the amazing ingredients that do go into our smoothies. And I've typed in there, including active digestive enzyme. So you get 100% of the nutrition that's in the smoothie and the other things you take with it. So if you're taking the multivitamins and whatnot, that's why it is that synergistic system that's just, it's unbeatable.
Dan, can I just interrupt there, mate? And because it's such a good point about these smoothies. I mean, it is one of the core products, of course, but what just blows me away, because I mean, I was in the fitness industry, as PJ was as well, and in the UK and Australia, and we did in the US, of course, as well. And you do see so many products that come out in the market, and they're continually coming out. But what is so amazing about this is now, after 2.5 years of being in the company, you do learn more and you do understand a bit more about what you're putting in your body. But for me, it's all about the cells in your body that are being regenerated. And what that's made up is protein. It's very simple. It's protein. That's what really turns the body over, and everything that's replaced inside the body is sources of protein. And so if you have the best source of protein, obviously you'll develop the most healthiest cells, which can change that physical and then everything that you can't see, especially internally within the body. And they go to extreme measures to make sure they have the highest source of protein in these products. So, and the big places of New Zealand, the happy fed cows, they've gone to extreme measures to make sure they've got the partnerships with the right type of people over there, and to make sure they can support them for long-term sustainability in the New Zealand. And so it goes a long way. And I think for us, it's been fantastic to see what they're doing over there and making sure that they can maintain that long term as well. And rather than just having a product that's there, it's great, but making sure for the future, they've got that source of protein, which is awesome.
Yeah. I think we'll find a little bit more info on the shake and definitely put it up in the notes as well. Because I think just doing a little bit of extra research on that for everyone is going to be well worth it, because just the amount of effort, like Bruce said, that they do put into the smoothies, it'll blow your mind. It's actually one of the things that clicked me onto realizing that this company is just doing it right, where a lot of other companies aren't. Awesome. And PJ, next question for you. After you had your health transformation, at what point did you like realize that the business opportunity was something that you wanted to engage in? And how has it kind of changed your lifestyle? And yeah, can you flesh that out a little bit?
Yeah. So, like as I said, I was really skeptical at first, both about the products and the business. The first time I really attempted it, I didn't even do it properly. So I kind of just kept the products in my cupboard. But at the same time, I was really searching for a business opportunity for, good 2 years with Bruce. We had got back from the UK after working over there and having an amazing lifestyle and really experiencing all of that fun stuff. And coming back to the 9 to 5 was just such a really big kick in the teeth, or whatever you want to call it. I knew when I got back that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life and be kind of, tied to a desk until I was 65. So we went in search of a business. We looked into apps and websites, importing and exporting, all that sort of stuff. And really all of those businesses were kind of residual income businesses if you look at them properly. But the problem was we didn't have enough time or money or the skills to really make any of those businesses work. But it wasn't until I went to my first Isogenics event, that's where I saw the bigger picture of what this company is about. Like I saw the people behind the company, the amazing Cougars, which you'll hear more and more about as the Isogenics launches over there. These guys are on a mission to change world health, to impact people not only physically but also financially as well. And financial health, if you don't have financial health, I can promise you your everyday physical health is not going to be great. And that's why this combination of, helping people with their health, but as well as with their finances, that just clicked with me. Like usually you can either have a solution to help someone with their finances or a solution to help someone with their health, but there's very few solutions that combine both of those things. So it was that, as well as the fact that just really seeing and meeting all the people at the event who had this massive success with this business, but were just everyday normal people. So that was really what solidified it for me, because I was kind of like, well, if these guys can do it, then I can do it as well. So I just started sharing the products with people. Can you just repeat the question? I've gone off a tangent.
No, I asked what
that e-shot's kicked in now, PJ.
Yeah, the third one. I asked at what point after your health transformation did you decide to take a look at business, and what excited you about that?
So after that event, when I realized that this was the thing that I'd been searching for, in terms of an opportunity, that's when I decided to really do the products properly. And then within a week, I was like, my God, these products are amazing. I need to start sharing these products with people. And then, so as I started sharing the products with people and they were jumping on board, they were having these amazing transformations as well. And they were like, Pete, this stuff is amazing. And so I started doing more research into it. I started learning the very simple steps of how to share it with people. And it just kind of flowed on from there. I like to call it energy on fire. And it was just exciting to be not only helping people, but being able to create an extra income in my spare time. And, if you look at a traditional business where you have to invest $100,000 or $200,000 or whatever it is, this business is available to anyone that simply orders their products. That's your initial investment, and your overheads is what you consume, that's it. You eat your overheads. So in terms of the risk associated with this business, there is very, very little, if any. And it's exciting because it's something that's so simple to share with people, and just kind of evolved from there.
Yeah. I just want to touch on 3 really important points that you made there. The first one is that you can either help someone's health or finances is generally like you see people out there who are like putting in so many hours to build a financial future, but their health is just suffering for it. And I think you're right. This creates that perfect storm of being able to help someone's finances and help people's health, including your own. And for me, I think that health and wellness lands with everyone. I mean, you could go selling telecommunications plans or whatever, but health and wellness, when people see those visual results and then they get the products in their body and they feel those products going to work, it becomes a natural thing for them to just say, these products are amazing. I need to tell someone about this. And I think that's another reason why Isogenics is just exploding.
Yeah.
My second point.
I'll just add to that as well. Like that's where Isogenics have truly done this right in terms of the business side of things. Is their goal is to make this as simple as humanly possible for anyone to be able to share these products. They have created every single tool and video and PDF about the products, about the business. So Wayne just asked the question, how do I find out more about how to share? Go to isogenicsbusiness.com and you will literally have the complete blueprint of how to share, what the products are about, everything that you need. And that's how simple it is. Obviously there are some more steps to that, but if you've got someone that wants to share, you can just say, look, well, if you go through Isogenics Business, you'll know as much as I do. That's the whole purpose of this, is to make it simple so that not only you can share, but the people that you introduce, you can help them do the same thing. And that's why Isogenics have just nailed this on the head, because not only is it's the simplicity, but it's also the fact that you can do this in the small pockets of your time. I was doing this on my half an hour lunch break and maybe an hour when I got home after work. And within 14 months, I was able to replace my income. So there's very few businesses that I know of where you can spend, the pockets of your time building it and create that type of income with that type of investment and overhead, which is so minimal.
Yeah. And look, I'm doing it in the pockets of my day. I still work 9 to 5. I know so many people that they still have a full-time job. They commit a little bit of time when they get home from work, maybe in their lunch break, and they're building this business. And, residual income is just something that is going to be so valued in future. It's something that's secure. And that's, just another reason why, it's just such a great opportunity to go for. And we'll wrap that one up there because we could talk about that forever. I really want to pick Bruce's brain now. Bruce, why did you kind of decide to get involved in the business side, and what opportunities does it present for, I guess, what lifestyle does it kind of set you up for if you decide to go for it? That's what I want to know from you.
Absolutely, mate. Well, you've already said it. You nailed it on the head, mate. It's, the residual income. It is a game changer. It's different, and a lot of people, I think, don't realise the power of residual income. When you speak to someone about it, it sounds great. It's but until you're actually receiving it, it's really a game changer. So you can, the idea is, right, you put in the work and you'll be paid forever with that. And so I was always used to putting in the hours, putting in the time, and working that 40, 50, 60, 70 hour week when I was back in Australia, and I was paid for that 70 hours. But however, the residual income you put in, and that is always paid back, which is unbelievable, because no matter where I am in the world, what I'm doing, whether it's work related or not, I am always receiving that same income, which is very, very powerful, because what it creates is time freedom. And that time freedom, a lot of people would use to spend with their family. A lot of people could use to go on a holiday, or other people, and myself, and what attracted me to this business in the first place was the opportunity to build onto other businesses as well. When I moved to Australia, for me, something I was very passionate about, being from the Barossa Valley, was setting up a wine label with two very close friends here in the Barossa Valley. But the simple fact was, it was a huge amount of capital to set up the wine industry. It takes 3 years before you see a return on investment. And even still, it's 5 years before you've really set up something to realize whether or not it's going to be successful or not. And so when I came back to Australia to set this up, I found that out very quickly, and working full time and using up the capital I had ready for that, that capital disappeared very quickly. So for me, it was evident I definitely wanted to and was looking for something else to help support me on that journey. And as soon as I found this, definitely is work involved. There's no way around that. But the rewards from it is better than any other business or opportunity that I've ever seen before. So literally within 8 months for me, 8 to 9 months allowed me to be able to give up that day job because I replaced the income. And that was so powerful for me because then I had 70 hours each week that I could dedicate to other aspects in my life. And it still blows my mind. It's very hard to understand sometimes, but if you've got an entire week where you're still paid the same as you were beforehand, imagine what you can do. And that's completely up to the individual, right? Everyone does this for their own reasons and their own desires. But for me, it was definitely that I had the opportunity to build on another passion of mine in the wine industry. And so, without a doubt, building this up to the point where I was there was so exciting because it gave me a real opportunity to grow this other business. It has changed as well. I mean, over that now 2.5 years that Peter and I have been working this business together, that's changed. And that's because the opportunity is growing stronger and more realistic for us. We just sort of started with great intentions, but everything got more and more exciting. So now, obviously, 2.5 years later, it's opened up more opportunities for us. With this business, with Isogenics itself, with the UK launch, with Europe opening, it's really in its baby steps of where this company is going when you're talking 20, 30, 50 years. And so the excitement for me is just intensified. We can't wait for the next 4 or 5 years to see how large we can build this organization and the opportunities that come alongside with that.
Boom. I could not agree more. My spine is tingling with the sense of opportunity, especially with everyone on this call. I mean, you see the really successful people in America and Australia, and they really were the people that adopted early. They saw the value in the business model. And now the residual income that they've created and they continue to receive has just set them up and their family for the rest of their lives. And I think, that excites me.
That's a great thing, Dan. Exactly right. It's a legacy income. I mean, when you talk about, you can work as a job and get paid for it as the hours that you put in. And when you start talking residual income, that residual income will continually be there. But when you're talking about family, that is such a powerful thing. It really is. And you hear about I don't have any family that I know of at the moment. I hope not. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. But I'm pretty sure. But the cool thing about this is that you're talking about your family security for life. I mean, this business continually grows, right? So if you've got children right now, imagine what happens in 5, 10, 15 years. You've got a lasting legacy of income. And that's stupidly powerful. It's almost hard to believe. It really is amazing.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. PJ, can you tell us more about, obviously yourself and Bruce have been successful in the business. Can you tell us more about the business model, how it works, and the kind of simple systems they've set up for sharing and creating an additional income? Can you just flush that out a little bit more? Because I know that I've experienced it, and I know that once it gets through your head and you start to follow the simple process, it becomes so simple and so easy. So can you flush that out a little bit for us, please?
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of touched on a few things already, but it really does come down to the simple systems that they have in place. So as soon as you enroll, you're essentially an Isogenics associate. So you have the same compensation plan, the same products, the same tools, the same training as every single person in Isogenics. And that's one of the biggest things that I love about it, is there's no discrimination. There's no, bigger advantages for anyone else. It really is a case of what you put into it is what you get. But basically, it's just simply about sharing the products and opportunity with people. The way that I like to think of it is as soon as you become an Isogenics associate, for the rest of your life, you have a solution to help people with their health or with creating an additional income. So an Isagenix business to me is very similar to like having your own virtual online gym. You know, so if you go to a gym and you sign up for a 30-day period to trial it out, you know, what are you going to do? You're most likely going to have great results and you're going to love it and you're going to want to continue using that gym. So it's the same as if you were to enroll someone into Isagenix. You know, you get to give them a 30-day trial period, try the products, you know, help them have a great experience. And most people are going to continue to use the products. So what you've done there is you have introduced a new customer into your Isagenix business. And, you know, these products are so good. As I said, people are going to keep using them. And the very fact is when people keep using them because you're the one that introduced them to it, that's the definition of residual income. It's just about building up a customer base in your business. So the more people that you introduce, the more people that you help to have a great experience and stay on the products, the more your residual income will grow. And just like in a gym, you know, customers or members or whatever you want to call them, they're going to have a great experience. And what are they going to do? They're going to tell their friends and family about it. And refer people to that gym. And it's the same with Isagenix. So you introduce them, they have a great experience. They have then the opportunity to then refer and share this with other people, and they get paid to do that as well, just like you do. And what that does is that multiplies the amount of customers that are coming into your business. And therefore, that's how you grow your residual income. So in terms of how to share, like I shared with you guys before, there's so many different business tools and systems. You've got Isagenix Business, which is the complete one-stop shop for every tool, movie, PDF that you need, so that when you are speaking to people, you don't need to explain it, you know, or you don't need to explain every detail about the products or the business. You can just say, look, I've just only gotten started. I'm really excited about it. If you're keen to know more, I can share with you a video if you're willing to have a look for 2 or 3 minutes. And, you know, all of you guys are on this call. You're also going to have a support network in Australia, and obviously that will grow in the UK as well. That's one of the coolest parts about network marketing is how much support that you get to share these products and this opportunity with people. So you don't need to know everything yourself. And with Dan, for example, you know, if Dan's got someone that's interested in learning more about Isagenix, he doesn't need to explain it all. He can just say, you know, share his experience, share his excitement, and then just say, look, I'd love to introduce you to my friend Peter. He's been doing this for over 2 years, and he can just explain it a little bit better than I can. And then he'll get him on the phone to me, and then I'll do all the work. So, you know, it's all about simplicity. And that's really how this business model works. The more people you share it with, the more your customer base grows, the more your income grows.
That's so awesome, PJ, the simplicity of it. And it's definitely worth mentioning again is how easy this can be because you're leveraging off everybody else and everybody supports each other with such strength. It's so easy to start because when you think about this, everyone, you look at it and go, oh, I'm starting my own business. I'll have to know this. I have to know that. And like we've mentioned the call and Pete's spoken about a couple of times is all the tools are built for you and all the support's there for you. So it's simply going and reaching out and working with everyone because everyone's going to bend over backwards to make sure you have the most support starting up.
Boom. Love it. The products will speak for themselves, I believe, you know. Once everyone gets their body, the sharing will come naturally. And just like you said, just if someone is interested or asks a question you don't know, simply just reach out and ask someone because there'll be so many people there ready to reach out and help you out. And yeah, it's been something that's been so different from my, you know, previous jobs. The support within Isagenix is, it's like nothing I've ever seen, you know. It's really, really fantastic. And that's because it's community based. It's everyone helping everyone for the benefit of everyone. You know, you see it on the corporate ladder where people are looking up and trying to pull you down so they can climb all over you. where here it's completely different. It's people reaching down and pulling you up, and I think it's something that just lies at the core values of network marketing and Isogenics. And yeah, it's something that I've completely fallen in love with. Yeah, fantastic. I guess talking about the products is awesome, talking about the company is awesome, but I think everyone's on the call as well to find out a little bit more about what's happening with the UK launch and how pre-enrollment works. Bruce, if you could let us know some of that very vital information, that would be so super fantastic.
Absolutely, mate. It is coming, people.
Whoa!
Yeah. I was carrying this bad boy with an Englishman across Europe and Asia. It's got a little bit of dirt on it. I'll bring this over in June. It's a filthy thing, actually. It's had all sorts spilt on it. But UK is super exciting. It's such an incredible and a huge move within the company itself, but also for everyone involved. Obviously in pre-enrollment now. President's Pack, I just saw that, Wayne. Thanks for the question, buddy. It's going to be very similar to a President's Pack. Every company, every country they move into, obviously every country has their own food regulations and legalities involved. So Isogenics has been working on the UK for the last probably longer, 5-6 years, making sure everything is correct and in order to have a secure and integral launch into the UK. So it would be very similar, mate, in terms of the President's Pack, which you might have seen online. It's going to be a 30-day cleanse. It's going to have the core products plus a few additional products. And they'll be, like Dan mentioned in a question before, with the plant-based that Dan, you asked about, there's going to be a continuous unwinding of products going to the UK as we move through the rest of this year and early into next year. The exciting thing for pre-enrollment, guys, is right now you have the opportunity to do all the learning, understand the company, jump on these calls, share these calls with other people, and really educate yourself about what the company is, what it's about, and the products. Every bit of information that you really need to set up. When PJ and I started this business, we got incredibly excited because we had some friends who had so much success, and so we just jumped into it and went to town. We probably did a few things wrong, to be completely honest with you all. It was just because we were super excited and we went about it like nothing else. But it also was advantageous for us because we went for it, and it does take action. Yeah, I mean, the thing for you guys now is I think we're looking at now 2 months before products will be launched in the UK. We don't know for certain, but everyone's guessing around late April at the moment. So this gives you a huge window of opportunity to really understand the products, the company, the business, how it all works. And so when these products do come out, you guys realistically will be a lot further advanced in understanding the business than what Peter and I were when we started. You can literally become experts of this in that period of time. So that's what really excites me for you guys here in the UK, getting started now. The other thing about pre-enrollment as well is products are going to be distributed from the Netherlands. So we don't know how many people that's already taken off. There's a lot of people pre-enrolled already. So there will be a rollout of products as well. So being involved with the product launch means that you will guarantee to get those products when it launches. There won't be a time delay, which it might be for the masses of the UK that get on board in a week or 2 or 3 weeks into it. So you guys will be first to have the products in your hand, to be able to use them and get your results very quickly. But the really exciting thing for me on a business perspective is that sorry, I've got bees, I've got a spider crawling down bloody Australia. Yeah, and the backyard here, it's all happening. But yeah, no, the cool thing is Europe's going to unfollow very quickly from the UK. So UK is going to be the hub. It's going to be the European HQ for Greater Europe, right? So we've got Germany that's going to be opening up, Italy's opening up, Netherlands opening up, Belgium, and there will be a fallout into the rest of Europe. So you're talking 680 million people that are going to be exposed to this opportunity very quickly, and the UK is the base, which gives you guys such an incredible opportunity, and ourselves here in Australia as well, your colonial cousins, who are going to be jumping on that boat back over your way very soon to get involved, to be on the ground and really support and work the business with you. So very, very exciting, Dan.
Awesome. I think you've touched on something very, very special right at the end there. The fact that Bruce and PJ will be moving over there, and I've firsthand experienced the support that they give. And you know, they're up late nights, they're up early mornings. PJ's throwing down boxes of e-shots like they're going out of fashion.
He supports 50% of the company's profit.
Just to build up his own BV. No, look, the boys, I can say it from the bottom of my heart that these guys will bend over backwards to support you and help anyone find these amazing products. And you know, just the fact that they're moving over there it's just, you guys are going to be heads and shoulders above anyone else. And just for your time, like, I've just noticed we've hit the 10 minutes to go mark, and I know that your time is valuable, so we'll keep this call to an hour. And I think the boys moving over there, it's just going to make everything just so much smoother and simpler for everyone. And so thank you from everyone, guys. I think that's really fantastic. PJ, can you just let us know, with the UK launch coming, can you just give us a few stats on what can be expected and how to capitalise on what's about to happen, please?
Yeah, for sure. This is my favourite topic. It gets me excited every time. There's actually, Dan, if you can share that podcast with Herb Cepeda that we were listening to yesterday. He's the number one income earner in the company, and can you share the long one as well? Just because he really goes through like every aspect of this company and really what's about to happen. This guy's been in the industry for 30 years. He's one of the best network marketers in the world, not just Isogenics. And this is where I get a lot of my stats. But just to give you a rough overview, right? So Isogenics has been in Australia for now 10 years. Okay. It's roughly about 25 millionaires. So that's people that have accumulated over $1 million US in commissions and residual income. There are, of those 25, there's probably about 10 to 15 that are earning over $1 million US residually. So that money comes in every single week, every single month. There are hundreds of six-figure residual income earners across the company as a whole. So it's in 13 countries, right? It started in America. In Australia, it's been here for 10 years and it hasn't even penetrated 0.3% of the market. A lot of people make the assumption of, you know, if something like this has been around for 10 years, that it's going to be saturated, the opportunity's gone. It hasn't even begun. Like in America, or across the globe, I should say, there's 227 millionaires, right? And there's only about 500,000 associates. Okay. And what is so exciting is this company as a whole has, last year alone, did $967 million US in revenue, right? And then you look at how many millionaires and how many six-figure income earners and how many people are earning an additional income, and it hasn't even hit the UK or Europe or the major Asian countries. Like that, it's unheard of. It's the first billion-dollar company of network marketing company that has entered into the UK and Europe ever, being a billion-dollar company before it goes into Europe. Most companies become a billion-dollar company because of Europe, and it's the most exciting and biggest market in network marketing. Whereas we have proven that we've done that already. It's proven that people are having this level of success, both with the products and with the business. And you guys are about to experience that as the first people in the UK. And then after the UK is launched, you know, after probably 12 months, then they're going to slowly start to open up the new countries in Europe. And there's 800 million people in Europe. Can you imagine what you guys are going to do in a period of 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 years, both as individuals and as a country? Like, it just... If you really understand this compensation plan as well, I'd really love someone to share a link on the compensation plan, just because once you understand that, coupled with the fact of how big this opportunity is going to be in UK and Europe, you won't be able to sleep. Like, you really won't, because it's going to change people's lives. And if you don't need to be the first one doing this. You know, there are people in Australia that started 6 or 7 years after it launched here and are now in the top 10 income earners. You don't need to be the first, but it is definitely a great little advantage that you've got, is that you get to start sharing these products and growing this business and being the first people on the ground to do that. So awesome. Hopefully that makes sense. It
makes sense.
It's exciting.
It's super exciting. And you know what, I'm not a big fan of hype. You know what I mean? I prefer something that's based in, you know, I guess it's grounded in good basic information that you can take into momentum with. And one thing that I really, really loved after listening to that podcast that we'll post on the Execs Club page, the Why Isogenics one, is the fact that Isogenics has the biggest, a middle class, so not, you know, those earning over $100,000, you know, 200,000, $1 million, whatever. Our middle class is massive. So there's so many people who have earned up to $100,000 a year that are staying there. And I think that's something that, you know, you can look up and see in other companies, all of these people making so much money, but then there's hardly any middle class, you know, where this is something that's an opportunity that you can grab a hold of, and everyone's in the perfect opportunity that if your goal is to gradually replace your income over a couple of years and then do this full time, Isogenics has proven that we have the biggest middle class, you know, and I think that's something that's, you know, it's something that you can hold close to you and say, I'm going to have a crack at this. And Isogenics has done it with so many people, you know, and for me, that's something that I'm working towards. I want to replace my income, and then I want to do this full time. And I know that the systems and the procedures and everything are in place to make that happen. That easy. Like that's what I'm working towards. One more question, please, because we're very, very close to the hour. Bruce, can you just got 2 minutes? Boom. Can you just please give us 1 or 2 tips on how everyone can really capitalize in this pre-enrollment period? That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. I'll keep it very brief. I think Pete just went through a lot of what's exciting about the UK right now. And I was speaking about before what you can be doing in terms of educating yourselves. All the tools are there. If you guys haven't got access, please let whoever asked you onto the call know, and they'll plug you straight in. But if I was in the UK right now and I was presented with this opportunity, knowing what I do know now from the experience over the last 2 years, I would be, first of all, learning about the company and the products, which is all there online right away. You can have it at your fingertips in a matter of moments, right? I'd be looking and understanding and educating myself on what the company is about. I've been using the tools in terms of isogenicsbusiness.com of how to grow this business and how to do it successfully. And the third thing, and I think the most important thing in the early stages, is really just networking, being normal, everyday human beings and connecting with your networks that are already existing. So I was talking to Dan about this the other day. It's really just connecting with your networks. So it could be people that you have met across the last 10, 20, 30, 50 years of your life. It could be people you went to school to. It's really just really connecting and growing your audience on Facebook as well. And that's going to be so powerful because you've got 2 months to be able to do that and really and can reach out to all the people that you know. I'm just going to quickly answer a couple of questions here, guys. There was one, Helen, you were asking about how Peter and I work together there. Really quickly, Peter started the products himself first. I was very skeptical and said no. And I watched Peter, use the products. I saw his success, and I jumped on board as well. However, it is unique, the situation with Peter and I. Peter and I were actually looking to start several different businesses together. So when we had this opportunity presented, we treated it like any other business, really. And we formed 2 directors in a company, and we worked this business together under Peter's account. I am enrolled in the business as well. However, we work that together. So I'll just stop that one. Someone's on me there. And there was Helen. Sorry, does that answer the question for you? I'll just unmute you there.
just how did you two place yourselves on the tree?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so obviously PJ enrolled, then you enrolled under him.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
And you're looking at, so you obviously had one, who enrolled you? Was that Crystal?
Crystal Wilson, that's correct, yeah.
So you're like, there's one strong leg and then there's a weaker leg. So you were enrolled on the stronger leg or the weaker leg?
Yeah, so I mean, Crystal was enrolled in inside leg, which you classify as the weaker leg, I guess you could say. Crystal enrolled Peter pretty much straight afterwards, which would be her now stronger leg, right? But at the time, you know, immature. And Pete enrolled me pretty much straight away afterwards. So we were both enrolled into that left leg of Crystal. However, we both built the business together under Peter's original enrollment. My position's still there, and I order products through it. We use that as an advantage to be able to keep another business alive there. And if the opportunity, you know, presents itself to build out of there, we will. But at the moment, obviously, and for most people, that first 2-3 years will be essentially the first business that you build out of.
Sort of similar to what Alan and Larry did.
Very similar, exactly right. And that's the good thing about a couple building. Of course, you have that opportunity to enroll the partner as well, keep that alive but dormant, so to speak. And there is, I guess, when you're looking at this down the track, there is advantages with that for sure.
Right. Cool. Thank you.
No worries. Guys, yeah, I know, Dan, you'll be ready to wrap this up, mate. But has anyone else got any questions there at all? And Wayne, we can stick around to have a quick chat afterwards, buddy.
Awesome. If you do have any other pressing questions, obviously feel free to personal message Bruce, PJ, myself, anyone who you think the question will be best answered by. I'd like to close this call thanking everyone for your time. I know it's getting a little bit late in the UK and it's getting more like daytime over here. So once again, thank you for jumping on the call. If you know of anyone that is interested in learning more about Isagenix or the opportunity, these calls are probably the best tool that you can use, or one of them, to you know, get them in, get them feeling the energy and learning from some of the best that Australia and soon that UK has to offer. So thank you so much, everyone. Gratitude, and we'll see you next week.